Hey, Thomas here in another Facebook Live. I wanted to just record a quick video here to show you how you can set up dynamic product ads in Facebook. And we're going to go about it here by using the Trackify generated catalog. And we're going to set up a simple campaign with dynamic product ads. And then I'm going to show you also and include some tricks on how to set up a little bit more advanced DPA campaigns and how to go about that. We get this question like all the time, and I thought I might as well do it as a real life interactive video on a Facebook live stream. So if you're on the stream, let me know. Just send a quick notice. I haven't made an announcement for this or anything, so I don't expect there to be a huge audience. Just in case, if you happen to swing by, just say hi so I know what's going on. Anyway, so let's just jump right in. I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to start out in Trackify, in the catalog list in Trackify. I'm not going to explain in detail how to get here or what this means or any other details, because I'm mainly making this video to make it available as supplemental training in our Slack group, as well as our help article. But I just want to make it real and live so you can just look over my shoulder and see how easy and fast it actually goes. All right. So I'm going to start out with one of the catalogs here that is green. And so I'm actually going to use this one here because I'm confident that that one's going to work. So I'm just going to click on the catalog name. The green in Trackify means that this catalog is maintained and updated regularly by Trackify. So you don't have to worry about keeping that current, and any updates that happen in your Shopify store to your products will automatically show up here. Okay, so what I've done here is I clicked on the catalog name in the catalog list in Trackify, and it took me right into the catalog right here. Now, you can just go ahead and run an ad by clicking this button here, Advertise Product Set. And if you do this in this general view, it will select the product set that is called the all products. So it'll apply it to all products. You can also run ads directly to product sets that are a subset of your entire catalog. To do that, you would have to click to product sets over here, and you see we have created some demo product sets. And here are similar buttons right here, Advertise Product Set. So if you wanted to pick a specific product set and only run specifically a DPA ad using this product set, you would just click on the button here. And you can also use the all product set here. This essentially is exactly the same as when you just click on the button over here. So let's anywhere we go, we just do it. Here you select your ad account. And let me see, training. I wanted to go to the training account here. That's the account that I'm going to use. And I click next. And it automatically gets me here into this section where I can name everything. And I just create everything. It's the quick creation dialog. So I'm just going to click create everything. You might want to adjust your budget here. I'm just going to set it to something less than that. I don't know what's right for you on this. Whatever works for you. I usually start this a little bit lower because the budget isn't really spent in the beginning anyway if you just get started. So there you go. Then I'll start with an ad set that is specifically going to retarget add to carts that have not purchased, and I'm just going to start out with a 30-day time frame. This can be longer or shorter. It's not a bad idea to start it with something like a little bit longer range, particularly if you just get started on dynamic product ads. You can always adjust these things later on as you can monitor the results. Okay, then here, all products, catalog sales. Okay, that's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to create a carousel ad. So I might as well name that over here. Okay, all products carousel. add to cart, non-purchase. Now, this is just the naming scheme. This doesn't actually do any settings, but I'm going to show you how the settings are going to be adjusted in the next step. All right, so it's actually creating the ads, the campaign and the ad set and the ad, and it's in draft mode, and we're inside here the ads manager for this selected account. And you can see it has basically selected all the, or set up all the settings on the campaign level already, and we're now finding ourselves here on the ad set level. So here is the place where we're going to basically just determine the audience. And it's very interesting here. Here are the two modes, if you will, that are available for catalog sales type ads and for dynamic product ads. And one of the modes is find prospective customers, even if they haven't interacted with your business yet. So that's an aha moment maybe for you, that you can actually set up dynamic product ads even for, yes, it is live. It is live. Right now it's live. Let me bring you in here real quick. It is live. There's your proof. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well, and you're healthy, and stay cool, and stay level-headed, and stay hopeful. All right. Anyway, so moving on. So that might be a surprise to you that you can actually set up dynamic product ads, not only for retargeting, but also for finding new customers that haven't interacted with you yet. And you can actually use the catalog for this and set up the dynamic product ads with targeting that is cold traffic or top of funnel traffic. All right, so now what we're going to want to do here is actually we're going to set it up as a retargeting ad. So I'm going to click on this other mode over here. And this other mode brings up multiple different choices here on how you can set this up. The easiest way is kind of like already prefabbed, if you will. The settings are all going to be dialed in automatically. You can do this here, viewed or added to cart, but not purchased. That would be one that retargets any view content or add to cart events that have not also have a purchase event on the same user. And then the second mode here, that's kind of the way that I've set up the naming scheme, is added to cart but not purchased. And usually what I do is I set them up separately. I set up added to cart but not purchased in one ad set. And then I duplicate this ad set. Once I have everything set up, I duplicate the ad set and set up another ad set that I configure with viewed to cart but not added to, viewed or but not added to cart or purchased. I'm going to show you the settings without actually doing the duplication. So this here is kind of like, just to be really consistent, add to cart but not purchased. This would match exactly the naming scheme that I showed here. So added to cart but not purchased. That's it. And you can see everything kind of works automatically. You can put advanced options in here where you can basically further restrict the retargeting. But since this is retargeting ads that are just working off of your pixel events, I usually don't restrict this any further here, and I don't use the advanced options. So let's just collapse that again, and we're back to this. So now, optimization and delivery. Usually what I do here, this is kind of defaults to link clicks. I don't particularly like link clicks, and it's also charging CPC for the link click. That doesn't usually work all that well for me. Usually what I do is I put either conversion events, or link clicks. You can actually use link clicks, it's fine. But then what you want to do is you want to get charged per impression anyway. Otherwise, if you leave this on link clicks, it tends to kind of slow down your ads and not spend well. So I would strongly recommend that you put this here to impressions, and you can put this either to link clicks or to conversion events. Either way will work well enough. All right, and there you go. So you can do that and set it up like this, and that's a pretty good way to start this here out. Now, the next step is really important, and that is how to set up the actual ad creative. So I'm going to click over to the ads, in editing mode, and this is kind of a funny page here that I selected, but it doesn't really matter for the purpose of this video. So you can see here, it's already pre-selected as dynamic formats and ad creative. So this is going in different formats for different placements. You can click through here how everything looks and what part of the descriptions are available for different placements and so forth. So you usually start building out starting from the mobile news feed or desktop news feed, and then just kind of click through the other formats and see how it shows up on those with the different creatives. All right, so let's just go back to this one. I'll show you real quick what settings to put here. So number one, you can just basically leave this all the way it is, just kind of review things and review how things work. Here are a couple of things that are important. So number one, the headline. So that's the product name that comes down here. This is the part that shows up right below the product image in this format. And then the description shows up further below. Now, this is a very important thing. This field here is a merge field, and you can have here several different merge fields that you can put in to the different fields. And the merge field that you want to select, if you want to display a price like this one, is exactly this one here, product.current price. So let's erase this here for a second and pop this open and see what else is available here. So there's price and current price. And that's really important here to select current price, because in the Trackify catalog feed, you have the current price. So you have a price in there and you have a compare ad price. And that comes from Shopify, right? If you have your product set up in Shopify so that they show a discounted price, that's called the price in Shopify. And then the higher price should be put into the compare ad price field in Shopify, and that shows up in the catalog feed as well. And the catalog feed will then dynamically display the correct price if you set it up this way, right? And there's actually nothing to set up manually. It's just the important part is if you set up different prices in Shopify, make sure that price in Shopify has the discounted price, and compare ad price in Shopify has the higher price that you want to show as. So this is what it's normally, $50 or whatever. Now it's discounted to 30. Then that way it will show up properly in the Shopify product page, and will also show up properly in the ad, because now when you select this price field here as current price, it'll merge in the lower price of the two. Okay, so that means if you have a product that you have a sale for in Shopify, it will show the lower price and not the compare ad price field. And if you don't have the compare ad price field, it'll show the lower price anyway. Okay, so then I usually put some, something in here that it's not just the price. So you can edit this description field and do that, and it'll show up here in front of the price, right? So now let's experiment here real quick. The primary text, because this goes somewhere as well, and sometimes it goes into different places in the ad. So if you wanted to, you see in this format here in the mobile news feed, it shows up at the top of the image, and that is a text that shows up on top of all images. And so this primary text shows up on top of all images, right? So even when the user, it doesn't show here in this preview, but if I scroll through the other images, still this text here stays the same. So this is a good place to put, for example, a coupon code, okay? So use coupon code 30 off or something like that, right? Whatever you want to do. And then you'll see this will show up here in the space here for the primary text, right? So that's a good place to put that. But you still have to be careful with that, because check it out. So when you go to the desktop feed, okay, it's there as well. Instant articles, desktop right column, for example, doesn't necessarily, see here it shows on the bottom, and this field in the right sidebar is actually a lot shorter than it can be in the other two formats that we just looked at. So you need to be careful there that if you put critical information into the primary text that is used for all images and all products that are showing in the carousel, make sure to inspect that in the different formats so that you make sure that it's actually visible in the ads. And then, if it's not, then you have to decide if you maybe want to either reformat this or maybe deselect certain placements so that you specifically format the ad for certain placements and not for others. All right. So that's pretty much it. That's really all you need to do here. I like to have a call to action button. I like to use Shop Now. So that's usually here. It shows up like this. You can change that here if you want to. And then just also double check and make sure this is usually selected automatically, and you can't really do much about this. Well, you could. So that's a little bit dangerous. This is automatically selecting the event source that is set in the catalog. And so if you set up your catalog with Trackify, you don't have to worry about that. This is automatically going to be right. Okay. But it is important there to make sure that it's checked. And again, this is normally checked automatically, so nothing to worry about it. And also make sure that there's only one pixel selected at a time. And that is here. That is true as well. See, the other one gets unselected if I make a change. But don't make a change because the event source, this pixel here, has to match the event source that is selected for the catalog. Otherwise, this ad will not work, right? Okay, well, that's pretty much it here for that. Let me go back now. So I've showed you here everything about the ad setup. And let me just show you real quick. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. I'm just going along with your comments here, just getting a chance to read the comments. That's awesome. It's great to have you. Thanks for piping in here. I always ignore DPAs. Man, yeah, you got to do them. That's money left on the table. Okay, so let's go back here to the ad set settings, and let me just show you the other ad set settings. So I would now that I've configured everything here, I would come back here and then actually just duplicate the ad set, right? So I would just duplicate the ad set like this. Let's just do it. It's easy enough to do. Put it in the original campaign. Just make number of copies 1. This is fine. So just duplicate it. And so now we have one here that says copy. And then we have the ad in there is the same, right? It has the same name. So it's a duplicate inside each of the ad sets. So what we're going to do here is we're going to change the name of this ad set. We're going to change it so it's going to say view content, not add to cart or purchase. I usually do it like this. So you can invent your own naming scheme for this so that you understand and it makes sense to you. And now you have to adjust what's happening here. So we don't have a prefab model already ready to go here. So we're going to have to do this as a custom combination. So you're going to click over here, and it'll take the same thing that, if you have some already set up like we had up here, it'll take the same setting down here, and now you can modify it and change it. And so what we're going to do here is there's included audience interactions, and then there are excluded or but not, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to change this here to viewed, and then we're going to add an exclusion, and as exclusion we're going to add the add to cart. I'm going to set this to 30 days as well. So now it'll literally complement the other ad set that is set for add to cart but not purchased. Now this ad set is going after viewed but not purchased or added to cart. Okay, so these are some awesome things that you can do here, and this gives you some separate control over the budget settings and the bid settings, depending on how you set up your budget mode here. If you wanted to have separate controls, you would have to set this up here so that you can really control now. So what I'm saying here is budget is set on the campaign level, so you don't have separate control here, but you can still do certain controls here and exercise certain controls on the ad set level. And you would want to do this once you see some results and things coming in. So particularly for the for a DPA ad, what I would recommend doing here is set it so that both of these ad sets do get some traffic. You don't want to give control completely over to Facebook in this case and just optimize for either this or that, but you actually want to retarget both. And you might want to have it so that your actual criteria for what's working well might actually be different for this one than for that one. So you would want to set up some spending limits or spending minimums here so that your budget doesn't all of a sudden all go to just one of these ad sets and leave the other ad set out. And if you feel that you can't properly control this with the settings that you have available in here, then the other option, the other way to set this up is to actually move this or create it differently so that you actually have multiple DPA campaigns, and then each campaign would have only one ad set in it, and one would have the add to cart but not purchased, and the other one would have this one, right? So that kind of depends on how comfortable you are and how effective it will be to control the spending here and the results of these different ad sets when they're running inside the same campaign. All right, so at the very end, you can just go ahead and publish it, and hopefully it'll get reviewed and approved. They actually have this warning here or notice that ad reviews are delayed by a little bit. So hopefully it'll work. And that's all I have here for you right now. We're actually starting in 10 minutes. We're scheduled to start a user webinar, an advanced user webinar for Trackify users. So if you haven't received the link for that, go into your Trackify user interface and look for the link there. It should pop up in the in-app chat. We've also sent out emails and notices. So if you haven't been in Trackify today and you want to join me on the webinar in just a few minutes, just go into your Trackify user interface and catch me over there. So I hope this helps and is useful to you. We're probably going to take this particular video down from Facebook in a little while. So share it and use it for the time being. We'll publish it somewhere else inside Trackify, inside the Slack group. By the way, the Slack group, you also get access to the Slack group if you come on to the webinar. So come on in and put this on your schedule. Hopefully you have some time to do it. And stay safe, stay healthy, stay out of panic, and stay positive, and do the things that your community needs and your tribe needs and your customers need. Figure out what they need and offer it to them, sell it to them, and prosper. Okay, I'll take care, you guys. I'll see you soon. All right, bye now.